So now give me the जो भी आंसर आपने लिखे हैं repeat those answers.
First, it rained all day yesterday. Second, had you seen Maria last week?
Okay.
Third, Gary had been studied when I arrived.
Okay.
Fourth, when you sent the email.
Okay.
5, have you ever seen this movie?
Okay.
6, when the guest arrived, I have already cooked the dinner.
Okay.
7, I didn't understanding what you said.
Okay.
8, when I reached the airport, the flight had already left.
So now I'll give you the right answers. So please write the right answers.
Okay, sir.
It rains all day yesterday. That answer you gave was right. The right answer is it rained all day yesterday. That answer was right. Now second, have you seen Maria last week? In this case, the correct answer is did you see Maria last week? Did you see Maria last week? That is the right answer. Third, Gary studied when I arrived. Okay, the right answer is Gary was studying when I arrived. Gary was studying when I arrived. This is the right answer. Fourth, when have you sent the email? Here the right answer is when did you send the email? When did you
Sorry, sir.
send Hamali?
Only, only did you send the email?
Words change होंगे. We cannot remove word. It is when did you send? Then the meaning itself changes. When did you send the email? Did you
Okay, sir.
send the email का meaning कुछ अलग है. When did you send the email का meaning कुछ अलग है. Both the sentences have different meaning. Since when has already been used, we have to use this. Did you ever see the movie? Now here the right answer is have you seen this movie? Have you seen this movie? Sixth, when the guests arrived, I already cooked dinner. When the guests arrived, I had already cooked dinner. I wasn't understanding what you said. I did not understand what you said. Last, when I reached the airport, the flight already left. Now, the right answer is when I reached the airport, of course, your answer was also right. When I reached the airport, the flight had already left. These are the right answers. Now, what we will do is we listen to this lady explaining the right answers, and then we will discuss these things again. That if you need, I have to actually understand why the change was made. So you said yes, you have understood it. So आप मुझे समझा दें why was this why these changes were made, and if you are not able to explain some reason, then I will explain.
Just wait a minute, sir. First, past simple. Okay. It rained. हाँ. Rains. Rains होता है तो वो present simple होता है. First, second, had used the Maria this one. Present perfect.
Don't get much into analysis because which tense has to be used has already been written there. So the answer is very simple. Why that tense was used? If you know the use of tenses, because ये tense वाला chapter हम लोग 2-3 बार कर चुके हैं अब तक. So
You're
where
right, sir.
we use past simple? Simply think about that.
Where?
when do we use past simple tense? So don't get into analyzing this sentence because उसका कोई end नहीं है. Which tense has to be
Is it?
used has already been written there. So if you
Uh,
think where do we use past simple, then the answer will become clear.
Part simple in the past, the routine is क्या कल
No,
में वो करी है
no,
इंग्लिश में क्या वो the action is routine in past. Hmm.
that already I said no, and it rained
Huh?
all day yesterday. Where is the routine there?
No, sir.
We use past simple tense to talk about an activity which was done at some fixed point of time in the past.
Hmm.
Completed activity at some point of time in the past,
Right.
right? So he's talking about yesterday, that is past, but that
Hmm.
activity is now over. Okay?
Hmm.
A completed activity at some point of time in the past is written in past simple. And past
Right.
simple का जो structure है, that is subject plus past tense of the verb plus object.
Hmm.
So it rained, not rains. Rain का past tense है rained. It rained all day yesterday.
Hmm.
Okay. Now and the second one. Now remember, second ka she had also said one way to write this sentence. Did you see Maria last week? So we stick to that. Did you see Maria last week? Or you can even explain this. So why in this case we can use both past simple as well as present perfect.
Hmm.
Then इसके लिए you have to explain where do we use past simple and where do we use present
Past
simple.
simple. If we put the last week, so past simple, and if we remove the last week,
She has not removed
present.
last week. Okay, if we use fine. If we use
वो सर तो वीडियो में तो वो कहते हैं कि अगर लास्ट वीक के साथ पास्ट प्रेजेंट परफेक्ट नहीं आएगा.
what she has said is if you are changing, if you want to retain have you seen, then इस इसके साथ then this week आएगा and this sentence then is in present perfect. So have you seen
Hmm.
Maria this week is a sentence in present perfect.
Okay.
And if we change this to did you see Maria last week? Because now it's easy to understand did you see. Now again last week is a given time. So we are talking about completed activity at some given point of time in the past. So we have to write the past simple. Then the sentence changes. Now we are returning last week, so then the sentence changes to did you see Maria last week? Because past simple का जो structure है that is subject plus past tense of the verb plus object. Now this is interrogative sentence. The interrogative sentence का structure है did plus subject plus simple verb plus
Verb, yes.
object plus time expression. So did you see Maria
Hey,
last?
yes.
Any doubt? कोई doubt है आपको?
No, sir.
Okay. So did you see Maria last week? Then what is the next sentence? That is now see past simple when we are talking about only one action. It rained. all day yesterday. Action is only one, raining. Sentence two, again, we are talking only one activity, seeing. Okay. But many cases, many instances, we can have two activities. Time to past ka hai, but two activities. One activity is short duration activity. Second activity can be going on when this short duration activity happened, or second activity has been completed before the short term activity. Time past का ही
Right. Past
arrived and
continuous.
studied ने बता दिया past की बात कर रहे हैं. Arrived past tense का है, studied past tense का है. Now if I know grammar के rules and if I know grammar structure, when I analyze this sentence, ये sentence मुझे बताता है when I arrived, उस टाइम ये studying का काम चल रहा था. Study is a long-term background activity, but arriving is very short time activity. When you arrive at a door, at some door, how much time it takes to reach the door? Couple of seconds. But this act of studying उसके पहले ही चल रहा था. What happened when I arrived? I must have knocked the door or rung the bell, and जो पढ़ रहे थे वो उठे वहां से, उनका एक्टिविटी थोड़े टाइम के लिए डिस्टर्ब हो गया. Open the door and जाके दोबारा पढ़ना स्टार्ट कर दिया. The rule of the grammar rule is that when we are talking about a background running activity which was interrupted by another small activity, short activity, then we always write the short activity in past simple tense. That is when I arrived. And the background running activity is written in past continuous tense. That is, Gary was studying. This is past continuous tense because this activity was going on even before I arrived. So in past continuous and past perfect, we have two activities. But in past simple, we have only one activity. So past continuous and past simple, because ये पास्ट सिंपल एक्टिविटी ने ये पास्ट कॉन्टिन्यूस एक्टिविटी को इंटरप्ट कर दिया था. सो गैरी वाज स्टडीइंग व्हेन आई अराइव्ड. नाउ व्हेन डिड यू सेंड द ईमेल? When is fixed time. When someone
Right.
is talking about when, he is talking about a fixed time, known time. And then when we know activity completed at some fixed point of time in the past, we have to use past simple. And the structure, and because this is interrogative sentence, वो last में question mark बता ही रहा है हमको. When I have to use past uh, past tense in interrogative form, the formula is WH word plus did plus subject plus simple verb plus object plus time expression. So बन गया when did you send the email? But suppose when you if you remove when, like what you were saying, then it is have you sent? Then it becomes a sentence of present perfect. Have you sent the email? Did you see? Did you ever see this movie? Now we have a tense called present perfect tense. Present perfect के दो uses हैं mainly. One use completed activity जिसका effect अभी भी feel किया जा सकता है. And second use is what is called by cumulative lifetime experiences. Which means मैंने अपनी
मतलब
लाइफ में अब तक कोई काम कितनी बार किया है, to describe that also we use present perfect tense. So he's talking about seeing a movie, right? So what somebody is trying to ask is ये picture मैंने अब तक देखा है या नहीं, देखा है तो कितनी बार देखा है अब तक. That's my lifetime experience, and lifetime experience is written in present perfect tense. So have you seen this movie? But suppose एक specific time आता, if a specific time is given, then we will use past simple. Did you see this movie last Sunday? Last Sunday, specific time. Then we cannot use present perfect. We have to use past simple. Did you see this movie last Sunday? Or have you ever seen this movie? That means, have you ever seen this movie? Present perfect का है. And talking about my cumulative lifetime experience, मतलब मैंने अपनी लाइफ में कोई काम कितनी बार किया है. How many times we use present perfect? Have you ever seen this movie? How many times or when? Then we use past simple. Sixth. Now third and sixth. Third is talking about two activities, studying and arriving. Sixth is also talking about two activities, arriving and cooking. The
Right.
difference is in the third, one activity was going on when another activity happened. When I arrived,
Yes.
पहले studying का activity चल रहा था. But in the second sentence, an activity had already been completed. वो क्या कह रहा है? When I arrived, this is short term activity. उसके पहले ही खाना बना लिया गया. In the sixth sentence, the activity had been completed before a given point of time in the past. Now, इसका rule है that short term activity जिसके पहले एक activity हो चुकी थी, and we always know the time of this short term activity. So short term activity is written in past simple tense. When the guests arrive, and the activity which had already been completed before this time is written in past perfect. I had already cooked dinner. Past perfect का structure है subject plus had plus past participle of the verb plus object plus time expression. Then now seventh, I didn't understand what you said. Now we have some verbs which are basically feelings. We have those verbs are called stative verbs. Stative verb means actually there is no action there. Those are feelings. Now the rule of grammar is the verbs which denote actually feelings and there is no action, those cannot be written in continuous tense. They have to be written in simple tense. And because यहाँ बता दिया गया है टाइम पास्ट का, क्योंकि was यूज किया गया है, was past tense का है, so this sentence actually then has to be written in past simple tense. I didn't understand what you said, क्योंकि understand एक feeling है, इसमें कोई action नहीं है. This is a stative word. 8 and 6 is same. Two activities हैं, one reaching the airport, second is flight leaving. Reaching the airport is a short-term activity and flight जो है वो उसकी पहले जा चुकी थी. So the activity had already been completed before this short-term activity. So when I reached the airport, the flight had already left. The past simple, past continuous, past perfect में थोड़ा फर्क ये. In past simple, we talk about only one activity. Activity which was completed, which had been completed at some fixed point of time in the past. Past continuous talks about two activities. In these two activities, one is a short-term activity which happened at some given point of time in the past, and the second activity was all going on in the background when this short-term activity happened. So I arrived in a short-term activity, but studying is a long-term activity which was going on before the short-term activity. So the grammar rule is जो activity चल रही थी, write that in past continuous, and जो short-term activity थी, write that in past simple. The second possibility is the second activity had been completed before this short-term activity. Then the rule says जो activity हो चुकी थी, write that in past perfect, and जो short-term activity है, write that in the past simple. These now, if I know uses of these tenses, which incidentally we have already, if you have attended that session 3 to 4 times. So if I know the uses of these